Welcome back to Young Trip Reactions. The next video we're gonna do is he got his own daughter pregnant. This is crazy. Let's get into this.
Into right now. I'm about to tell y'all probably one of the most messed up stories that I ever told y'all from the beginning to right now, right? This story is 110% true. Um, the woman that told me this story, she didn't want to come on camera. She just told me the story and asked me to tell y'all the story to bring awareness, and that's what I'm gonna do. Okay.
And before we get into this story, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. For people who have a lot of videos on their liking list and don't really want to pile it up more, or just don't want me taking up their space on their liking list, all I ask of you is to comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. For people who can like the video, please like the video, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. Thank you.
Excuse that wind in the background. I'm actually on a plane to Dubai right now, and I'm in the back of the plane with an engine at. So that's why y'all hear all that wind. So if y'all can just bear with me, and let me get through with this story. All right. Now, but before we go any further, do me a favor, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. I need for y'all to smash that like button, right? And also, I need for y'all to check out Stacy's story time. I'm going to have her channel pinned at the top of the comment section. She got some good stories, y'all. Now, let's get to that. So,
how often do you think about your poop? Now, some people think about their poop a lot. Others, not so much. Did you know that every time...
The woman, we're going to call her Tiffany, right? That's not her real name. And we're just going to call her Tiffany. Tiffany said that her mama gave her up for adoption, right? When she was about 4 or 5 years old. She said the man that was in her mama's life and raising her as his daughter knew that that wasn't his daughter, whatever. But she ended up, nevertheless, the mama ended up giving her up for adoption. But the granny, her grandmother, ended up taking her. So all this time, she thinking that her granny is her mama and a mama is like a cousin or whatever, right? So as time will go on, her mama ended up reconnecting with her daddy, right? The girl daddy. So he will be around. You know, he watched he didn't step up. I don't know the conversation. I don't know that he say, well, we'll just let your mama let her raise her and I just be the cousin. I don't know what the dynamic was because she don't really know, right? All she know is she just knew of her mama being a cousin and her mama boyfriend is the mama boyfriend, right? Oh, y'all gotta bear with me. Y'all got to bear with me. This man, her father, right, watched her grow up with grandma, right? Throughout the years, watched her grow up. When she turned 16, right? And that's why I thank God I don't got daughters. And I'm not saying all girls is like this. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is I just thank God I ain't got to go through this. But nevertheless, when she turned 16, right, she said that she was more developed. You know, she basically looked like a grown woman, body-wise. And she said that, you know, her mama, for who what she thought was her cousin, which was her mama boyfriend, which is her real dad, he started hanging out with her, right? Now, the grandmother looked at it like, okay, well, maybe he just want to be in his daughter's life, but we just going to keep this family secret. And so she would, he'd take her to the movies, shopping and stuff like that. Now, she looking at it, oh, this is just my big cousin, looking out, my male big cousin looking out for me, not knowing this is her daddy, y'all. And don't worry, we about to get to the thick of it. Just hold on, y'all. I got y'all. So what happens is they getting real close. Too close. To a point when I guess she snuck out and went to a party, right? And she was drinking. And she had a little bit too much to drink. So she calls him because she don't want grandma, which she think is her mama. She know grandma gonna trip on her, right? So she calls him. She called her cousin, the good cousin, the cool cousin, which is really her daddy. She calls him and like, listen, I'm drunk. Could you come pick me up? And can I just take me home? He said, where you at? She gives him the address. He come picks her up. Now, the next part I'm about to tell y'all, she says she don't know. Well, let me just tell y'all. So she said that they pull up to a hotel, Motel 6. And she said he gets out for about 5 minutes, then he comes back. And he tell her, look, I'm going to get you a room so you can sleep this off. I don't want you going back to your mama house, which is her granny. I don't want you going back to your mama house, and you going to get in trouble. So I'm just going to get you this room and, you just sleep it off. So she like, all right, bet. So he helps her and they go to the room.
This is crazy right here for a father to even be doing that. He should be able, now that he's older, he should be able to say that, hey, you can't be doing this. You ain't even old enough to drink. You ain't old enough to be doing that type of stuff. And letting her know. Like, at least trying to step up and be a father. Instead, he's still trying to play as a cousin. Crazy. Let's continue.
Now, she said at this time, y'all, she only weighed maybe a good 100 pounds, right? And she been drinking Henny, Patrol, Incredible Hawks. You all know what I'm talking about. So she through. She done. So she said the only thing she remember is she was like stumbling to the door. He was helping her and she laid down on the bed and then everything. So she through. She done. So she said the only thing she remember is she was like stumbling to the door. He was helping her and she laid down on the bed and then everything went black. Then she said maybe around 8 o'clock, she woke up, right? She woke up, she had a crazy hangover, and she said that her undergarments was missing. And she thought that was strange, like, why is my undergarments missing? Oh, well. So she noticed when she went to the bathroom, something wasn't right. Something wasn't right. She lost her virginity. And she said that she was a virgin at this time, but she knew that she lost her virginity because something happened. So she said she was just sitting there thinking, like, because she totally forgot, like, who was I with? How did I get here? She said the only recollection she remember having is going to this party, drinking, and now waking up. She don't know who picked her up. She don't know. It could have been a guy at the party. It could have been a girl at the party, right? It could have been anybody. And then she said, as she's sitting on the bed, right, after she come from the bathroom, she's sitting on the bed like, how the F did I get here? What happened? And then things start coming back to her. Flashbacks start happening. She like, okay, I remember I called somebody. So she go through her cell phone, and the last call was the cousin, which is her daddy. And so she like, okay. So she called him and like, hey, did you bring me to the hotel? And he was like, why you say that? And she was like, no, I just need to know because I don't remember what happened last night. He was like, yeah, I brought you to the hotel. You was drunk. And she was like, okay. She was like, did anybody come with me? He was like, no, I just picked you up and brought you there, and then I left. And he was like, what's wrong? She was like, nothing, I guess. Can you pick me up and take me home? He was like, yeah, I'll take you home, yeah. So she said she just sitting there. She said about 20 minutes later, he pulls up and knock on her door. And she walk out, right? So she said when she get in the car, she's leaning over on the passenger side more towards the window, looking out the window, like confused. And now she getting these flashbacks. And she said, like, she keeps seeing his face. And she was like, are you sure you left me yesterday? Did you, like, help me undress or help me into the bed? Because she's trying to make sense of these flashbacks. And she's seeing his face. And he was like, no, I just, you was drunk, so I did tuck you into bed. I did, take your shoes off, whatever, but that was it. I did that and I rolled out. Wow. And she was like, nothing, man. I think something happened to me when you left. So he's not saying anything. And he was like, what you think happened? She was like, to be honest, I think somebody violated me. She said the other word, but I can't say that on here. He said, what? She was like,
and see, he just playing along, acting like he don't know. This is crazy. Let's continue.
Yeah, I think somebody violated me. So he was like, but no, nobody could have done that because, like I said, when I tucked you in the bed, I left. I made sure the door was locked, So she was like, yeah, never mind. So when they pull up to the house, he tell her, like, listen, I got your back, and I will never let nobody do anything to you. I will never let nobody hurt you. She was like, yeah, I know. He was like, I love you, man. I love you. She was like, yeah, I love you too, cuz. She get out the house. As soon as she get in that house, grandma, which is her supposed to be mama, is going in on her. You little H. So you out here just having and coming home in the morning like you grown? Like you grown. Oh, you on punishment for the rest of your life. Take to your room. She knows she wrong. She says she knows she was wrong. She didn't even argue. Right? She just went upstairs, got in the shower, and just got in her bed. She said she took a nap. Then she woke up a couple hours later, and everything started coming back to her. And she like, I think my cousin did do that to me. I know he did. He had to. Now I'm getting a clear picture. He did do that to me. Now she's sitting in the bed confused. First she said she felt a lot of anger. And then she said it turned to being sad. Like, how could he do this to me? Why would he do this to me? We got family. Right? So she said, you know what? I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to pretend like this never happened. Right?
So now she has confirmation that he did do it. Because the flashbacks, people don't realize when you do that to people, they even have flashbacks of you doing it, memories and all that, because they're in and out of consciousness and all that. So, trust me, they know. Let's continue.
Before we go on, let me give a disclaimer right quick, okay? I looked at my analytics and it says that 60% males watches my show and 40% women watches my show. Women that's out there that may have went through this or could possibly go through this, report it. Go to the hospital. Get that, kit done, right? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Go to the hospital, get that done. If you feel like a man violated you and did something to you, man, listen. If y'all don't report it, these cats feel like they can keep doing it and will keep continuing doing it, right? So make sure, report these dudes, man. Right? Because if you don't, they just going to keep doing it. But anyway, let's get back to the story. So she said, she just sat there and she was just real confused and sad, like, why would he do this to me? But nevertheless, I'm just going to leave it alone. So she said nothing eventful happened for like the next 2 weeks. She said on the third week, she woke up and started throwing up. Yes, y'all already know what time it is. Oh,
this is crazy. Now she waking up, throwing up. That's why you need to be mindful about who you have in your circle and what they doing and how they doing it. Because this is crazy. Now she waking up and throwing up. Let's continue.
Yeah, she got the morning sickness, all that, right? Grandma, which is her mama, supposed to be mama, she catch on to it quick. She ain't no fool. She know that baby girl is pregnant. So she tell her, like, listen, this is a family that, believe in God, and we don't do abortions. That's just not going to happen. So whoever the baby daddy, whoever this father is, you need to let him know we're going to have a family meeting. And we're going to figure this out. So who is he? So she like, man, I don't know, Grandma. I don't know, Mama. She was like, what you mean you don't know? She was like, honestly, I don't know. So she like, well, you better tell me. What you mean you don't know? She was like, you remember, a while back when I went to that party? And she was like, yeah. She was like, so you was messing around at the party? She said, no, Mama, no. It didn't happen at the party. So she said, then where did it happen at? She said, I went to a hotel. And Grandma looking like, what? A hotel? What? Why? That's where you was at all that night? She was like, so, okay, you was at the hotel with who? She was like, man, Grandma, you gonna be mad at me. And she was like, not Grandma, why I keep saying Grandma? She was like, man, Mama, you gonna be mad at me. And she was like, girl, you better tell me who. I'm gonna be really mad if you don't tell me. Right? And she said, look, I got drunk at the party. I didn't want to come home because I didn't want to, have to face you. But I called cousin so-and-so. And he took me to the hotel room. And I, what? And Mama, I think he violated me. She said the R word. So the grandma, we know her as Grandma because we know who she really is. She sit back in her chair. and she strike up a Virginia Slim. You know them cigarettes, Virginia Slims? She strike up a Virginia Slim. And she like, I'm going to KILL this mother effer. She said, you know what? It's time for me to tell you the truth. So she like, what truth? She said, you know, when you was younger, I know you think that what's her name is your cousin, but that's really your mama. And her boyfriend is really your daddy. She like, what? She said, yeah, that's your daddy. That sick son of a bee is your daddy. So she like, what? Wait, whoa, wait a minute. You saying blah, blah, blah is my mama? And blah, blah is my dad? So she said she just threw up. She threw up. Let me tell y'all something. I'm leaving a whole lot out. I'm leaving a whole lot out of this story.
I mean, she threw up, which I think anybody would have after hearing something like that. You is my grandma. The girl that I thought was my cousin was really my mama. Her boyfriend is really my daddy, who just also put a baby in me. What? Let's continue.
I told y'all before, if you have any crazy, wild stories, and you want to tell your crazy, wild story, get in contact with me. Get in contact with me. And you can come on the show and tell your story. Right? Or if you don't feel comfortable, just like this lady, you know, she told me the story, and she told me, you know, change her name and, you know, things like that. But her story is out. It's a lot of things I left out that, man, hey, I'm gonna leave y'all with this, right? Because I gotta get ready to go. Never mind. We just gonna leave it at that. Y'all make sure y'all check out Stacy Storytime. I'm gonna have her link pinned at the top of the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, y'all. Today, Friday. You know, I'm sorry if I messed up y'all morning, but I have to get the story out. But again, y'all, if you have a crazy story that you would like to tell on the Dante Show Network, you can come on camera and tell the story, or you don't have to come on camera. We can just, you know, do a phone interview and you just tell the story. Or if you don't even want to use your voice, you know, you can tell me the story and I'll put it out. Yeah, this is a wild one, y'all. With that, y'all, I'm gone.
Yeah, that one was definitely a crazy one. Let me know what y'all think. I'll have the pinned comment at the top of the chat. Obviously link back to Dante, and also in the description. Yeah, he should have known better. That was his daughter. He knew better than be doing that, knowing that she was drunk, took advantage like that, and I hope he got everything that was coming to him. Let me know what y'all think again, and I'll have it pinned at the top of the chat and then link in the description. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. For people who have a lot of videos on their liking list and just don't want to fill it up with my videos, just comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.